Coming up on today's 3 Grand Weddings.
Up comes the words, you sing along, in time, in tune. You can't go wrong, really, no.
You're not that daft for a magician, are you?
I'm Lucy Elliott, founder of thechiefbridesmaid.co.uk and an expert in budget weddings. Did you know that the average wedding these days costs a whopping £21,000? That to me seems like an awful lot of money, and so in this brand new series I'm going to show you how to do it on a lot less. Welcome to 3 Grand Weddings. So we now know where our couples are getting married, what they'll be eating and what they'll be wearing. Now it's time to find out how they'll be entertained. People who advertise themselves as wedding entertainment rarely come cheap, so it's important that you do your research to get maximum value for money. A great first tip is to call your wedding reception a party. By not mentioning the wedding word, you could save money in the price negotiations. I'd recommend looking for amateur musicians in your area. By going to local colleges or music groups, you could be surprised by how much money you can save. If you're considering a DJ as one of your options, instead of splashing out on a professional, why not save money by downloading your favourite tunes onto an iPod? That way you'll have complete control over the music played and you can avoid any horrors. Cotton Eye Joe? I don't think so. This is also a really fun way to involve your guests. Ask them to send their song requests in with their RSVPs. That way no one has an excuse to stay off the dance floor. Now, our wedding teams have employed a real mix of wedding venues and wedding styles. I wonder how different their entertainment's going to be. Only one way to find out. Last week, our teams had a tough decision to make when they chose the wedding dress for their brides. Our Surrey couple, Katie and Jeff, were already planning a wedding until Katie was made redundant. Now, with a smaller budget, their team is hoping to give them the wedding of their dreams. Their team found a fantastic dress that was in a sample sale at a local bridal boutique. Mother of the bride, Jill, thought it was exactly what Katie would have wanted. I really liked this dress and thought they'd picked up a bargain as well, and so I awarded them 25 points out of 30 for their efforts. Today, mother and father of the bride, Phil and Jill, Jeff's mum Anita, Katie's friend Michaela, and Katie's auntie Carol, along with top wedding planner Emily Yanu, will be focusing their attentions on wedding entertainment. Hi wedding team, how are you doing?
Fine. Thank you.
This week we're talking about entertainment. So things like bands or children's entertainers or magicians or fire eaters or anything else you can think about. What do you think Katie and Jeff would be after?
They like
music. They want music.
They like DJing, current up-to-date music.
So we think definitely a disco. How about if that was run from an iPod?
This is something new on me. I didn't know you could run it from an iPod.
And what we did for our wedding was we ran a democratic music list. So in all the invitations we said name your favourite song you'd like to hear at the disco. And so in advance you knew all sorts of songs that you knew people would like and you knew were bound to fill up the dance floor. You could sort of load that onto your iPod in advance.
That's a good idea.
Owner of the hotel is quite happy for us to use his PA system, so we can just attach the iPod to it, so it's a good option.
What sort of band do you think they'd be after?
I really don't think she'd mind. I think she'd be shocked that if there were to be a band there anyway, it'd be a nice surprise for her.
So you have lined up a band for us to go and see later?
Yes, there's a local pub and they showcase lots of new up-and-coming bands. They're quite happy for us to go along and see their wedding band to see if the family like them. They will actually do it for nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's good advertising for them within the whole of the guests.
Any other ideas? How many children are coming to the wedding?
About 10.
Now, I know you've had an ingenious idea to try and track down a low-cost, if not free, entertainer for us.
I was going to put an advert on the internet just to see if there were any budding entertainers, magicians that wanted to do a wedding for nothing. In return, obviously, they'll be able to show off their skills, maybe able to get some bookings from it.
Do you want to go and add that advert and we'll see where we get to?
Yeah. Brilliant.
Entertainment is key to the success of a wedding. It's really important that you keep your guests entertained, whether that's background music, some sort of interactive entertainment, something to dance to. It makes the party, without a doubt.
Our Oxford couple are Martine and Jay. They were childhood sweethearts until Jay went to live in Australia. They were reunited over the internet and can't wait to tie the knot. Last time, their team opted for a white prom dress. It was cheaper than a conventional bridal gown, but just as beautiful. I like the way they thought outside of the box and awarded them 23.5 points for their efforts. Today, Martine's mum Sue and sister Debbie, along with expert wedding planner Sandy Moretta, are ready to get rocking.
So, entertainment. There are lots of things we need to think about. Music for her arrival, particularly if she's going to come in on a horse. What we're going to have during the ceremony and the signing of the register, etc. Whether or not you're going to have music during drinks reception, whether or not you want something over the meal. Most importantly, music for the evening. And we want something which keeps people up on the floor, because that's what dancing at a wedding is really all about. What are you all lot like about getting up on the dance floor?
Very good, yes. We'll be all dancing a nice way.
I'm kind of not surprised about that.
What do you think Martine and Jay would really be looking for in terms of entertainment?
They like going out to live music. They like going to discos, karaoke. They love the karaoke. They do duets all the time. They love to dance, which I think will probably come out in their first dance, although they're keeping that a secret from everybody.
Now, you've got a budget of £150, but that, to me, doesn't sound like an awful lot of money. So do you guys have any friends who are in bands or who DJ or might be able to help the entertainment in some way?
Over to Debbie on
Over
that one.
to me, yeah. I've been working quite hard. I do know a DJ who's actually quite popular locally.
Oh, really?
He does disco and karaoke. He went to school with Martine and Jay. He would be more than happy to come along and do it.
The idea of a band, I think, is going to be slightly more tricky unless you guys know anyone personally.
Well, I do know a band who aren't a wedding band, but they play their own music, they write their own music, and that's Father Hen. I've actually got a DVD that I brought along today of them performing.
And do you have any ideas, Sandy?
I certainly do, Lucy. I'm really interested to know what people think about having a barn dance in a barn.
They both have been to barn dances, or I certainly know Martine has. That would certainly integrate the two sides of the family.
Yeah. There's one in particular who normally go out at £4.95 a head, and they have said they will do it for £200.
Right. Okay.
Now, 200 is a little more than we've got in the budget at the moment, but I think it's worth us having a look at your DVD, maybe having a look on their website and just seeing what we think.
Definitely, yes. Explore all the options.
Our final couple are BBC journalists Nkem and Chickadilly. With most of their family in Nigeria, they have entrusted their close friends to plan their wedding for them. Au Pair Me and wedding planner Becky Gregory began the hunt for the wedding dress by finding the exact style they wanted. They then had some great news when Chickadilly's cousin said they could borrow her dress for free. I thought this was a great idea and also awarded them 23.5 points. Today, music lovers Au Pair Me and Nkem's cousin Uche are so keen to get started that they asked to meet us at the first location. So here we are in West London. Rebecca, why have you brought us here?
Well, this is Vocal Tech, where we're going to see some student bands play.
So Vocal Tech's actually a music college,
yes.
Is it?
Again, with a lot of things at the wedding, we're obviously trying to find the cheapest option on our budget. And I thought that by approaching student bands, hopefully they'd want to do it for the experience.
Because often you have to look at a budget of, say, £1,000 to get a band in,
yeah.
don't you? Should we go and see how they are?
Yes.
If you're looking to save money with your entertainment, think about contacting local music students who might be really, really good but aren't doing things professionally yet.
Coming up after the break, our teams are treated to some top-notch bands as they begin the hunt to find the perfect wedding entertainment. Our three teams are putting all their focus on finding the perfect wedding reception entertainment. In London, wedding planner Becky Gregory begins the hunt at a local music college, a great place to look for top talent without a huge price tag. Hi Libby, hi Libby's band. Thank you so much for letting us come and listen to you today.
No problem.
So can you tell us about what sort of music you do?
I do funk, pop, soul, jazz.
Okay, so it's not just your own songs, you're happy to do covers.
Yes.
And what songs are you going to be performing for us today?
We're going to be doing R&B song Alicia Keys' If I Ain't Got You.
Yes. You like the sound of that, Uche?
Yeah, she's my girlfriend.
And would you be happy if we gave you a playlist of Chickadilly and Encomb's favourite songs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think you'll be able to kind of add a bit of a Nigerian twist to a couple of the songs?
Oh,
maybe?
yeah, definitely.
Well, we send them the samples and then put their spin on it.
And then on the day, what will you be wearing?
Obviously, we'll be a lot smarter than what we're wearing today.
Well, the wedding's quite bright and colourful with oranges and greens and yellows, so maybe it'd be good if you could all have something orange on, like an orange necklace or bracelet.
Yeah, that's good. Let's do it. Orange ties.
Well, I know Uche's really looking forward to hearing you do Alicia Keys.
Hopefully it will impress.
Music school's a great place to find young musicians. They're looking for experience, it's a great way to build their CV, and they're not expensive, so it's a really good way to do it. You can use this for band, for classical, for repertoire. I've even heard people that have found buskers they loved who got to come along to their wedding.
So a great start for the London team. Over in Oxford, the first meeting of the day is with a DJ who specialises in karaoke. Just what the team is after. So this is Phil from Storm Disco. Thank you for coming to talk to us.
It's not a problem.
What sort of music do you normally play?
Basically everything.
Right.
I usually let the people know if there's anything they don't want played, which is a good indication, but usually it's along the lines of the chart stuff, the 70s and 80s.
So could we give you a list of the stuff that we know Martine and Jay like?
Yeah.
And you'd be happy to sort of stick to that?
That's not a problem. Within reason, obviously.
We want to hear about
well, so I'll do karaoke as well.
And how does that work? So you've got your DJing bit, and is there then a separate microphone and
yeah, you have a television set up, a couple of mics. Yeah, you choose a song, up comes the words, you sing along, in time, in tune.
Could be good fun.
You can't go wrong, really, no.
And you've seen Martine and Jay on the karaoke quite a few times.
Yes, I've witnessed them singing before, actually.
Yeah, what was that? There was uncertainty about how good they were.
Yeah, they're right. Yeah.
Really? Sue, do you have any questions you want to ask Phil?
Can you fix an iPod into your system?
Yes, of course.
So we could use that for anything out, the outdoor ceremony part, or
yeah, if there's particular songs people got stored on an iPod or anything like that. Yeah, simple enough. Plug and play.
Good job.
Thank you so much for coming to talk to us, Phil. That was really helpful.
Thank you.
If you're looking for great entertainment, a DJ after dinner is a great way to save money, and it can play so many different types of music. They can play to all the different styles, from your grandma's favourites to your young cousins.
A good DJ will ensure the dance floor is filled. They know how to respond to the crowd, they know what to play next. So it's not to feel that you're compromising at all by having a DJ, and that's the obvious way to cut costs.
Entertainment's an area that can really add up if you start adding lots of different elements, but somewhere we can save a lot of money. These days with iPods and all these different sound systems, you can do some great stuff. I would always recommend use your iPod for background music during dinner. Live entertainment's wasted.
In Surrey, the challenge is made harder by the fact a lot of kids will be at the wedding, so children's entertainment is just as important. Don't worry though, help is at hand.
Hello. Hello. How are you? Oh dear. We have a choir. I can wear a top hat if you wish. When I it's not that funny. Would you like me to wear a dicky bow? No, I'm not, okay, because it's far too hot. Now, ladies do like money, and I'll have to go with you just for a minute, and I'll roll my sleeves up because you'll think I'm cheating. Would you like a trick in my hand or your hand? I'll tell you, it'll be in your hand, okay? Let's have a look at your hand. No, the clean one. No, so I was joking. So, if I turn around and place £1 and a penny on her hand, now don't close it and spend it, okay? But I'm going to prove to you that she spends it very, very quickly. It's not that quick. So when I tell you to, I just want you to close your hand. Just close your hand now and hold it nice and tight, and I want you to think of spending a penny. Goodness me, you were quick, weren't you? And watch this. Do you feel it? Because open your hand, it's gone. And the weird thing is, if you turn around and take the coin, and I do throw it right up as best as I can, whoever catches it can have it. Is that fair? Yes. But you're not that daft for a magician, are you?
What do you think? Very good, yeah. You want to go ahead with Richard?
Yes, I think so.
So I think we found our magician, who is also a children's entertainer. Well done.
Yeah,
very good.
Very much.
Thank you.
Think about having entertainers for your wedding, so not just music, but perhaps a magician or something similar. Great idea is to find someone that can cater for both the children and the adults. So during the reception, when you're trying to entertain the kids, they can do kids' magic, and then they can come around the tables during dinner and do more grown-up tricks for the adults and add a bit of fun there too.
So, wedding team, what did you think of Richard?
Very good.
Very good,
Very
yeah.
entertaining.
Magic.
Quite large.
It'll be quite good because he can sort of transition between entertaining the kids during the drinks, where maybe it's a bit less interesting for them, and then moving on to the adults after that.
If the iPod claps out, you can fill in while we repair it.
Yes. How did you find him?
I put an advert on a couple of websites, Gumtree and Loot, and I got a reply back from Richard Special offering his services. He's actually a Toastmaster as well, which he's just told us.
And the Toastmaster is the person who announces the speeches, isn't it?
That's right.
More money saved.
Yes.
What have you got lined up for us this evening?
We're going to a local pub and we've got a band playing. It's a wedding band and they cover all types of music.
And what's the cost-saving strategy with this?
Because they're an up-and-coming band, it's good for them, again, like the magician, to show off what they've got and hopefully get some bookings from it. As another thing, I think it might be nice, what I believe they do, is to hand round a tip jar. And if the guests want to tip them, then it may cover their fares.
Yes.
Which is a nice idea.
Yes. Are you guys ready to go listen to some music?
Yes.
Off we go.
So while the Surrey team get ready to hit the town, over in Oxford, Martine's sister Debbie wants to show them a DVD of a friend's band that she thinks would be perfect for their country wedding theme.
Okay, here we go.
She went upstairs to make her bed. Not a word to her mother said.
I think Martine might quite like this sort of music because she's been to America quite a lot, and it does seem to me come across as American-type music. Our family would probably dance to anything. I'm not sure about other people. To me, this is a sitting down and listening to band.
Grandpa, I've been thinking about you lately.
Lucy? Well, I like the music, and I'm pretty sure Martine would like the music. I'm not sure how people would necessarily get on and dance to it.
People get into the spirit of it, don't they?
Yes,
and
yeah.
It's a wedding, people would have had a few drinks, relaxed a little bit. But it's completely up to the team. It's the team's decision. This is just what I can offer as
which is
great. Thank you.
Coming up, London continue the hunt at the music college, Oxford scour the internet, and over in Surrey, have they got more than they bargained for? So far in our search for the best entertainment a budget wedding can buy, we've met a DJ, been wowed by a magician and rocked out to some live music. We continue the hunt in London, where our team have been auditioning some local student musicians. The first group was really impressive, but will the next be just as good?
Hi guys, you're called the Boys of Brazil, is that right?
Boys from Brazil, yeah.
Boys from Brazil.
Yeah.
Where's the name from?
It's actually it's a film. It's a film and book that we really like.
So, tell me about what music you do.
Well, we're sort of into our indie rock and roll bands, so things like Kings of Leon, Strokes, Killers, Arctic Monkeys, all that sort of music, really. But then we like to do sort of spread it a little bit with some 60s and 70s stuff, so a bit of the Kinks, a bit of Thin Lizzy, you know, things like that.
Sounds good. And are you guys open if we give you a playlist of our couple's favourite songs to play them?
Yeah, we've done that before for a couple of people. Yeah.
Do you know any Nigerian songs?
Off the top of our heads, probably not. But Dan has like a large experience of world music, so we probably consult him.
We could find someone we could probably play it. Yeah, no doubt.
What do you think about their style of music? Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good. I can't wait for them to get
Yeah, we like it. Yeah.
Wow, another great band. I'm glad I'm not making the decision of who to go for.
I do think that live music is better, simply because we hear recorded music wherever we go, whether it's a department store or a supermarket, whatever. So there's something very instantly atmospheric about live music.
Back in Oxford, wedding planner Sandy Moretta has found another band in keeping with the country theme of their wedding.
So Sandy, I think you had some other options to share us on the internet.
Yes, we'll look at the band that could do a barn dance for us on their website.
Brilliant. Should we go through?
Lovely. This is the band called Bathsheba's Wedding. What we're going to have a look at here is actually a barn dance that they did at a wedding in Lane's Barn.
Wow, that would be good, Cindy.
That's right, and they've worked there quite frequently, so they're very local. So let's have a look.
It gets everybody up. I mean, the barn dance I've been to, just anyone, even non-dancers get up. And what's really funny is when you're dancing with somebody, you lose them, and you end up just laughing because it's gone wrong. Yeah. And you mix with everybody because you start off with your partner, but by the end of the dance, you've danced with about 10 other people. Yes.
So, ladies, Has it changed your opinion? I know you like the last band.
If we have the barn dance, we can't afford to have the disco and the karaoke. So that's
I wouldn't worry too much
over.
about going over budget, because I think we could scrape it back from other places.
We'd be talking about 220.
Well, I think it's doable because I don't think the hair and the makeup or what is the beauty treatments
are needed. Really.
Well,
she's so beautiful already.
Well, of course.
I really would like to do karaoke because I think Martine and Jay are so into it, and I think
that
they
really
would just be
surprises
really
me because
chuffed.
when you first mentioned karaoke, I couldn't think of one person who I thought was going to get up and sing.
Yeah.
And for you now to come and tell me that Martine goes out there singing really surprises me.
So the two options are then either DJ and Father Hen or DJ and barn dance.
Can we have 5 minutes?
Yeah. We can be in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
So, a decision to make for the Oxford team. But before they do, over in Surrey, it's time to be wowed by some live music.
Use your imagination and think about where you might find some interesting acts. You might be down your favourite local pub at night. If you hear a great band, have a chat to them, find out how much they cost.
So this is Danny, and he's part of the Danny Lee band. So we'll be listening to his band tonight to see what you think of the possible wedding band.
Now, we know our couple are quite into their cheesy pop music. How does that fit with your repertoire?
Mainly specialise in rock covers, dance rock covers for the punters. Really, get everybody. The aim is to get everybody on the dance floor really moving.
How about Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson.
We have been known to do Rockin' Robin.
I'm sure they can dress up and do Thriller.
We have dressed up for a few 70s nights and things like that.
Can
so
you
we can.
moonwalk?
No, but my son can.
Danny, how is your band made up?
And we've got Nelson playing lead guitar, Paul on keyboards, Jake Fryer on saxophone, and Amber Harding and myself on vocals.
In a bid to impress, Danny and his band crack out an all-time wedding classic. Desperate to get the gig, the Danny Lee band decide to play their full repertoire. And they just keep going. And going. And going. So after what seemed like a stadium performance from the Danny Lee band, it just leaves Surrey to make up their minds on whether they think they're right for their wedding. So guys, you've seen the band. What do you think?
I thought they were very good.
I think they'll do well.
Now, they were playing a few older songs.
Yes.
Michaela, what do you think? Will Katie and Jeff like that?
Not so much for the whole time. Perhaps if they were to have a break for a half an hour, and then we could put in the favoured Michael Jackson at that sort of time.
So do you think we found our wedding band, guys?
Quite possibly.
They're very good.
Okay, good.
And something special to have, something you remember. I mean, you can go to a disco and hear disco music the whole time, but to have that intermingle with a band, I think makes it a bit more special.
Yeah. I think Emily has done extremely well.
Well done, Emily.
Well done, Emily.
So that's one decision made. Let's find out what the Oxford team will go for. Right, ladies, we've seen some fantastic options today in terms of entertainment. You've had a few minutes to think about what it is you're going to go with. I know it's going to be a difficult decision to make, particularly because you know the people in the band, etc. But have you come to a decision?
Yes, I think we have.
I think so, yes. Yes.
And can you tell me what that is?
I think go for the barn dance.
The barn dance.
And the disco and karaoke.
Right.
As much as I like the band music, I think there does have some problems with it.
So
logistical problems,
and the
maybe.
fact that they're only able to do one set, whereas the barn
Yes.
dance will keep everybody entertained all night. And we've still got the disco karaoke bit, so that Martine and Jay can have a go on the karaoke together as well if they want to, which I'm sure they will.
I would still like the option of, if we could, is play a video or the CD of the band in perhaps another area.
I think when we get back to Lane's Barn and really look at the logistics, it'll be easier to picture how that might work, whether it might work.
Well done, ladies. I think that's an excellent decision. I think the barn dance is really going to complement the theme of the day.
Yeah.
There is an expense associated with it, but it is really good value for money as they've discounted it. So I think that's a really good job. Thank you.
I think it'll bring the two families together.
Yeah.
And weddings is always one half and another half, isn't it? Who don't know each other.
Yeah, it's going to be fabulous.
Yeah.
I think we've chosen well, haven't we? Yes.
Let's hope everyone else is.
Yeah.
Now you can start looking forward to things. Now everything's coming into place. They've made a great choice, in my opinion. A barn dance will be great fun. So that only leaves London's decision to go. And after seeing two great student bands, I wonder who they'll go for. Wow, I think we're so spoiled for choice there.
I think we are.
I mean, what did you think?
I enjoyed both of them. They were really good. I really enjoyed both of them.
They're both really, really good, weren't they?
They're quite different.
They are quite different.
So let's talk about the first band, which was Libby Schoen and her band. I mean, she did Alicia Keys, which I know you love, so an instant winner.
Yeah, but boys from Brazil were brilliant as well. You understand? I liked their songs and everything that was going on there.
Well, most importantly, what sort of music do you think most suits NKM and Chickadilly's taste?
It would have to be Libby, I think. And not just sort of thinking of it in just about NKM and Chickadilly, but sort of the whole group of people who will be in attendance.
It needs to be quite general, doesn't it? Yeah.
She did quite a lot of R&B and soul as well, whereas the other band were very much a rock band.
Which is great.
But this doesn't take anything away from Boys of Brazil.
No, they're brilliant. Yeah, no, I really like them. Really like them. I really do.
Well, it sounds to me like they've made up their minds and have gone with the softer tones of Libby's band. A great choice for a wedding. But I'm definitely going to put the boys from Brazil for my next party. I thought they were great. So that's it. We now know how our teams are planning on entertaining their guests. And some great points to remember if you're looking for cheaper alternatives for your wedding. Try seeking out college bands eager to get invaluable experience playing live, like our London team did. Or, like the Surrey team, you could advertise the fact that you're looking for cheaper options. You could be amazed at who responds. Finally, to ensure your guests are never bored, mix and match your choices like the Oxford team did. Coming up after the break, I meet wedding expert Fleur Hagen from Fleur Bridal to judge how our teams have performed. Before the break, our three teams chose the entertainment for their weddings. Now I'm back with Fleur Hagen, an expert at knowing exactly what's needed for the perfect wedding.
Hi Fleur, how are you doing? Very good, thank you Lucy. Looking forward to this week's entertainment. There's lots of variety in this week's episode. I look forward to it.
So sit back and prepare to be entertained.
So this is boys from Brazil who I think are really, really good.
Yeah, they all look really, really cool. I really like them because I think they're offering something really different, and I quite like the whole rock element.
I do think they're a great band.
And the singer is just amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
It would certainly add a cool element to somebody's wedding.
Here is the second band. So this is the Libby Shon band, and they're students looking to develop their careers, and so they've offered to do it for free as well.
So they're obviously singing something that's quite a generic song. You do probably want an element of people being able to swing their, you know, grandma around the dance floor rather than have her false teeth falling out if she's doing too much rocking.
They've decided to go with the Libby Shon band. They haven't done a wedding before, so it's a means of starting their professional career. Chickadilly and Nkem are quite into their R&B. Plus, she might even attempt some Nigerian music for them. It's going to be interesting.
It really will.
Should we go on to the next team?
Hello.
Hello. So here's our Surrey team. They found a magician.
Okay.
So I was a bit cynical. I thought magicians are a bit naff. I wasn't expecting much, and actually he was really funny. There are going to be quite a lot of children at the wedding, so he's going to be doing a bit of entertaining of them.
I have to say magicians aren't my favourite thing. I do tend to associate them with children's parties. He obviously had you all captivated when you were all sitting there, so I'm still sceptical, but we'll see.
And then we went on to see a band for the evening. So this is the Danny Lee band. As you can see, they're much more of a traditional cheesy wedding band.
Yep. Definitely, I can see the cheese factor going on.
I guess it will entertain all the grannies and the aunts and uncles.
It's not my wedding, and it's not what I would choose. But I do think it suits them and it suits their profile.
So the Surrey team have gone for the slightly cheesy magician and the very cheesy wedding band. But then they're not a pretentious couple, and I think that's the sort of wedding that Katie and Jeff would like.
At the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
And now on to the Oxford team.
Okay.
So this is DJ, and he's actually a friend of Martine's. They went to school together.
That's super cool.
He's offered to do it with his karaoke and decks for free, but has asked for some beer money and for his expenses to be paid. Between the DJ sets, he'll be running karaoke, and guests can come and have a sing, which I think would be really good fun.
Plus, he's a friend, so he must know to a certain degree what their taste is, and he's not going to start playing, you know, Kylie and Jason the whole time. So.
Not the whole time.
Not the whole time.
Because they're having a country-themed wedding, they want to have a barn dance. So this is Bathsheba's wedding.
It does get everybody up together, and people do want to get involved, so maybe it has its positive sides. I just feel that maybe it suddenly feels quite traditional, whereas I felt that they were having a traditional wedding, but it also had a little bit more of an edge for me.
They're paying £200, but they've been so good in other areas.
They're allowed to treat themselves to a barn dance.
Finally, it's a band called Father Hen, who is a friend of one of the wedding team.
Okay.
She went upstairs to make her bed.
I like it.
I just wonder if it's a bit niche taste for a wedding.
It's more of a brave choice, and I could see why they might not naturally go for this.
Well, I won't delay the suspense any longer.
Okay.
They decided to go for the DJ with the karaoke and the barn dance.
Okay.
So, judging time.
Oof, okay, it's going to be a tough one.
It is, because they've all done really well. The London team, who we saw first of all, have spent £0 for the Libby Shon band. The Surrey team have chosen the Magician and Danny Lee band for £0. And then the Oxford team have gone for the barn dance, the DJ and the karaoke. And they've paid £220, so that's £20 worth of expenses to the DJ and karaoke, £200 for the barn dance.
I still think they've got three things there, though.
Should we talk about the London team first of all?
Okay.
In terms of practicability, they've gone for students who are training to be professional musicians.
And she was very talented because she sang the Alicia Keys song,
yeah,
didn't she?
I think they'll be a really good bet. And in terms of practicability, well, I'll probably give them 9 out of 10.
I'd have to agree, because they've managed to tick all the boxes and still get away with it scot-free as well, which is great.
Full marks to wedding planner Rebecca for thinking to approach colleges.
I'd like to give her a 10 actually, because I think that was a really, really good idea.
Okay, I think I'm going to give her a 9, so altogether that's 9.5 out of 10. Money saved, well, they haven't spent a penny. What do you think they deserve?
I think a 10.
So I believe that gives them 28.5 out of 30. Well done, London team.
Good high score.
On to the Surrey team. So they had this Magician and Danny Lee band. For practicability, well, I think they've done rather well here because they've got children to entertain as well as adults.
I still think they have to be marked quite highly from the Magician, so my marks will probably come more from there than for the band, because
Yeah, I agree.
found the band a little bit disappointing. I think I give them 7 out of 10.
Well, I'm going to give them 9 out of 10, which gives it an average of 8 out of 10. For creativity, well, I think Emily, the wedding planner, did a really good job. I think I would give her 9 out of 10.
Yes, definitely. I think she's really helped them out there.
So, money saved.
They haven't spent a penny, but I think with the band they might have needed to spend a little bit more. So I'm not sure I can give them a really, really high score for that. I think I'd probably give them 8 out of 10.
Well, as they also haven't spent a penny, I feel I've got no option but to give them 10 out of 10. So that gives us an average of 9 out of 10, which gives them 26 out of 30. So moving on to our Oxford team, who have got the DJ, the karaoke and the barn dance. In terms of practicability, I think they can't really go wrong, and I'm going to give them 9 out of 10.
Definitely 9 out of 10.
So for creativity, perhaps they haven't been as creative as they've been on previous weeks.
They've had to go to a professional. Plus, they did have the budget in the back of their mind.
Yeah.
They must have known that.
They've got a real theme, which perhaps the others don't have quite so much.
Maybe we should give them 7 out of 10.
I'm going to give them 8 out of 10. Money saved, well. They're the only team this week to have spent money.
It's hard with this team because they've done so well all the way along and they've saved money every step of the way. It's almost cruel to bring them down on their money saved, but we have to because the other teams have really done really well because they've both got everything for free. So maybe we should meet in the middle and give them 8 out of 10.
I agree. That gives the Oxford team 24.5 out of 30.
To be fair, it's time they had a slightly off week because they have been flying all the way.
So Fleur, lovely to see you again, and let's see how Surrey get on next week.
So the scores after an entertaining week look like this. In third place, but getting better every week, is Surrey with 90 points. Having been in first place all the way, the Oxford team slip into second on 103. And in first, by the smallest of margins, is our London team with 103.5. It couldn't be closer. Next week, it's time to strike a pose as our 3 teams find a wedding photographer. See you then.
Straight to me, mums. Lovely.
I think it's so important to have nice photos because they're the one thing that you keep from your day.
If someone says to me, what makes a good wedding photographer, it's somebody that you'd have at your wedding if you wasn't the photographer.
Girl power. I'll take your number after you can work for me. I mean, we could have a bride on one side of the window, 3 on the other.
Don't kiss me, Lucy. You start realising what we're going to in the corner. This is where we're going to be.